Something is wrong with the world. You can feel it in the static, in the signals, in the fractures no one else wants to see. I thought I was chasing a secret, a hidden code, a machine buried beneath the noise. But the deeper I went, the more reality began to tear. The city opened, the mask came off, and beyond the chaos, there was another world, ancient, radiant, waiting. And in its light, a woman, Lady Avalon, not a dream, not a ghost, a guide, a warning, a key. Spirit Dial was never just technology. It was a doorway, a threshold between what is ending and what comes next. Now the old world is collapsing in plain sight. The new one is already calling. And once you cross that line, once you see what waits on the other side, you do not return the same.
I see it. The gate is open. No. Tell them I'm not coming back. I'm finishing this right now.
The signal has changed. The future is opening. And this is only the beginning.
It's the Spirit Dial. It bridges the fracture.
How long has it been here?
Waiting for you to answer. Waiting for you to answer.
Get your mind blown. Lady Avalon. Only on spiritdial.ai. The signal has changed. The future is opening. And this is only the beginning.
Welcome to Inspirational Astrology Horoscope for Friday, May 1st, 2026. I'm astrologer Dave Palmer, the Leo King, here to illuminate the collective consciousness. We'll make sure that you say, rabbit, rabbit. It's the first day of the month. And of course, we're here for this full moon in Scorpio. Hope everybody's doing wonderful out there. It's good to be with you all. And of course, make sure that you check out High Vibe TV. You're missing out on these daily horoscopes. And of course, deep astrology, full disclosure, the community, and so forth. Lots been going on out there, and I'm happy to be here. I do my full moon and my new moon horoscopes here everywhere on the web to give people access to see what they miss out on. High Vibe. Also, I have some awesome quick announcements just to get it over with. One, of course, I'm going to be out in Sedona next weekend with Team Light, doing, of course, the funnest event that I do every year. I love it. It's Rise of the Guardians. All you have to do is go to teamlightstore.com. I'm putting up with Rion the live stream if you can't make it out there, although you'd be missing out. I know that there are some tickets left in person to where you can be there for the awesome party that we do. Also, all the speakers. It's the best venue. It's the best time. That's May 8th through 10th. Go to teamlightstore.com for that. I'm also going to be out at Trinity Hot Springs in June. And that's going to be awesome. I'm going to be up in Idaho for one of the coolest gatherings I've been wanting to do for so long. I'm like so stoked, but it is the Hidden Gemini Gathering. Definitely come out. I'm going to be up there, a lot of other amazing people, and to be out there at Trinity Hot Springs in Idaho. This is going to be June 5th through the 7th. I'm going to be doing astrology and DJing. It is going to be an awesome party, like the real way to go out there and do it. I'm trying to see if I could show you guys pictures from the last one. Yeah, like it is popping off the charts. Super stoked to be doing that. So I got some back-to-back awesome events that I'm going to be at. You're not going to want to miss it. And if you really want to go out and have the best time of your life at both of them, this is definitely the time to do that. At the same time, of course, some people might not know it. I haven't talked here on YouTube for like 3 weeks or something like that. Besides the show that I now do of course, with Chris Witecki and Scott Cruz. Definitely check it out. LOL, Leading Out Loud. We do that every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific, and we do it on all of our YouTube channels. And then we have an after show, which we do on enchanted.now. That show's amazing. We've been doing it now for quite a while, and it's really gotten a really big fan base. We appreciate it so much. But the one thing I did want to show you too, I'm just gonna say this because I'm gonna say it because it's not being said. It's the opposite being said. Every astrologer is saying that AI astrology doesn't exist, even though I think the weirdest part is I've actually talked to the people saying that. They know that Jim and I 2.5, 3 years ago started building astrology AI that actually works and will mind blow you. And I can't even believe that people are still out there saying it doesn't exist. Well, now, of course, it's on the App Store on iOS. So you go to Hypergate AI, boom, it exists with your human design, with your charts, everything. You'd be missing out if you at least didn't even try it and have your mind blown. I don't want to say it could replace me because honestly, it actually 100% could. I have so many people kind of ditching watching videos, and they're all on Hypergate because it's instant. And of course, it has your human design. And of course, you could choose all your color stuff. But the cool stuff, so you could even choose what house system you want with it. You want your human design built in with it. You want to add all the different charts that you have with people. So it's amazing when you go into the gateway and you want to go, you know what? Let's add the charts with odd me. And I could add, let's say, my daughter, Aurora. And boom, there you go. Ask anything you want. If you just want your daily horoscope, of course, push the today for me. It pulls it up. Boom, there you go. And of course, it goes so deep. You go in with our voyages and gateway. We're recording all of your transits to understand it. And then, of course, all your conversations that you just want to keep going back to. But it's even cooler that we are storing all of your transit data. So for the years ahead and forward, wherever you go in life, the Hypergate agents will remember it and bring you back to those moments when you go through transits that are hitting those moments that you've gone through. This has taken us 2.5 years. And, we even confirm, every aspect of astrology for you, every angle, every transit you're going through, every part of your natal chart. The best part is you could just keep adding charts. You want to upload a contract and look at it through the lens of your chart, boom, right? And we're talking accurate to better than some astrologer could do it faster. That's what's crazy. I just can't believe that there's people out there saying it doesn't exist when it does. And we have all of these different agents on Hypergate. So if you want to use this as an astrology tool with the ephemeris, of course, it'll automatically do it if you do the auto select, which is what I use, but it'll switch to different agents like natal chart and synastry, of course, human design. This also takes in transcripts from all my horoscopes, deep astrology, stuff like that. So it's not just some bland astrology bullshit. It also has decision support. So when you're going through things in life and you really want to understand the timing, the window, what to do. And then, of course, all of my love masterclasses and so forth, and the really weird Leo King ways that I've done deep love tarot, all those things are built in and trained all on this. So when it comes to looking at synastry or looking at composites, looking at your progressions, or just your own chart through the love lens, that's all built into this. So it's pretty crazy. And honestly, people are having a blast with it. So many people are on it, but I can't believe, I'm just going to call it out. If I hear one more astrologer say, you can't use astrology and AI, they are lying to you. They are 100% lying because they didn't figure it out and they are not smart enough to code it. They don't know what they're doing, and they never could get the rising correct, and they don't know what they're doing. Don't buy their lies. You want to have the time of your life and actually get awesome support and know what the fuck's going on for your chart, other people's chart? even using it as an astrology tool. Why even go look at, I mean, I like looking at ephemeris, but I just use Hypergate now. Just like, hey, when was this planet here? Look forward over the next 1,000 years. How many times will this planet do this? Nobody's built this. We did. Check it out. Go to hypergate.ai, and then you could get the iOS app. Android app is being worked on right now that we got the iOS app out. And we developed this ourselves. We don't go through some other thing. So a lot going on there. Well, it's good to be with you all on this full moon in Scorpio at a radical time at the beginning of May here, after quite a April, to say the least. But to be honest with you, it's been quite the 2026 already, as we've all predicted as astrologers. I mean, if you really look at just April alone, you know, to see the final, you know, I'm calling this like the final and beginning ingress of the outer planets, right? Like Uranus is finally into Gemini now. And at the same token, we've had the most Aries energy we've ever seen in our life. And where are we going? Well, all planets have been direct for over a month. And this is the last week, this full moon, that is with all planets direct, right? So this is where you talk about peaked out energy. Just this is a lot of energy, right? So let's think about it. We got a full moon here happening in Scorpio at 11 degrees of Scorpio, with the sun at 11 degrees of Taurus. And it's while every planet is direct. Now, of course, Pluto is slowing down because Pluto is going to retrograde next, or just this week, right? But Pluto doing only 8 seconds a day. So we're already starting to see Pluto slow down here. But this is a quite powerful chart. This is a very powerful full moon. April has been all about the endings. So many things of the doors in your life that needed to close. And this is all about new doors opening in your life. And this full moon in Scorpio is the nail in the fucking coffin. It's the nail in the coffin. At the same time, it's resetting the table from a Taurus point of view. Right? So this is where it's saying you come into May, every new door is open. And also with all these planets direct, plus with Mars being, of course, the ruler of Scorpio, or Mars being the ruler, it is the ruler of Scorpio, but being the ruler of Aries and Scorpio, but Mars being in its home sign. And Mars also, of course, in a approaching square to Jupiter that's exalted in Cancer, is putting up a big test here. Like, yeah, there's a lot of new doors open. Stop thinking that there isn't. Stop thinking as you've been transitioning out of stories that weren't in alignment with your life, and start focusing on who you are and what you're not, and going, okay, where's my curiosity? Where's the stimulation in my life? Where's that connection? This is where this Uranus now in Gemini is asking us to really focus on the things that are interesting, the things that we could figure out because it's exciting. Whatever seems so complicated comes back down to a simple solution. What I like about Taurus and Scorpio is it's very simple too. It doesn't want to get too complex. It only gets too complex if it holds on to things too much. This is asking for you to let go of the things that you're still holding on to, that the door's already closed. Right? We're out of all that Pisces energy, except for the North Node being there. We're done with the eclipse energies in Pisces that, you know, were so much in many ways. But more importantly, it's been this North Node that's just left. Neptune's gone. Of course, Saturn and Neptune, when Saturn made its ingress in March of 2023, Neptune was in there. And now we have, of course, Saturn and Neptune together. The conjunction happened on February 20th. And of course, that hadn't happened since 4361 BC. And now we're in another Saturn Neptune 2.5 years in the same sign. But it's in Aries. And we got Mars here, the ruler. This is a full moon that's making this Taurus energy feel not alone because of the full moon, but that's a temporary thing. You have to remember the sun ingressed just 11 days ago, and Uranus was still in Taurus. Now Uranus has moved into Gemini. And so this sun feels kind of alone here, but at least this full moon's like the company that it wants, but it could also feel at the same time like we all are looking for that connection, that bond energy of like, what are we bonding to? And everything feels so new. If you just look at where we're at, so many planets from Jupiter to Neptune, everything but Pluto, right? And this full moon, but let's not even look at that. Every planet besides Pluto is in the first part of the zodiac. this is us starting fresh, starting at the beginning, starting at new things. Yeah, it's a new world. Where's it going to go? It's not about knowing that, right? Having this better, like, where's it all going to go? And that's where the obsession of Pluto is with this full moon in Scorpio. I need to know where my future's going. I need to know where my future's going. And that's where there's a minor square to Pluto. But of course, that's a separated one, but it's still coming up. Where's my future going? What's connecting? What's going to connect? Well, you have to look at it more like, well, my life has just upgraded. The things that weren't aligned with me are out. The things that are aligned, are going to align with me, are whether or not I'm taking action, I'm moving into things. And this is where all planets are direct. You have to remember, I am the astrologer that will beat this down every day. When we are in all planets direct, there's no retrogrades. Like, this is the rare times of life. This is where you push everything forward. The retrogrades are where we receive it all. And then we get stuck in those things and we have to wait till moments like this, which do usually take a long time, right? It's like almost like you have to wait till the next year to really go after the new pursuit of a different way. Well, this is the new pursuit on top of a new pursuit. Meaning there is no more boomerang energy. With all this Pisces done, the opportunities that you think, oh, I'll just chill. I'll just hesitate. I'll just kind of wait and see what happens. It's not going to come back around. We're out of Neptune and Pisces. We're out of Uranus and Taurus. We're out of Pluto and Capricorn. It is official. This is the full moon that's welcome to the new world. Welcome to the air and fire show, even though it's an earth and water full moon. But these are fixed energies. And these fixed energies of manifestation, creation, our values, the wants, our desires, this is maybe what we all need. It's almost like we all know that it's very blank what's in front of you. And I know you want to know the definition of every little point that's going to happen in front of your life right now, but you have to start filling in the basic blanks in front of you, the person, the place, the thing. You know, this is where your personal life has to get out of all these comfort zones that are outdone. Because in the square from Mars that's beginning to Jupiter, this is a powerful square. These two planets, Mars being in Aries in its domicile, Jupiter being exalted in Cancer, there's definitely a big fucking match here. But of course, Mars is going to win. Mars is the ruler of Aries. It's got Saturn with it. It's got Neptune with it, right? This is also an interesting full moon because Mercury is going to be conjunct Chiron. And Chiron is on its way out temporarily, at least. It's going to move into Taurus in the like month and a half ahead. And we've had Uranus in Aries since 2018, then it went back into Pisces, and then at the beginning of 2019, it stayed here in Aries. This has been a long fucking Chiron. This is where, if you think about it, Mars beginning the square to Jupiter, Mercury conjunct Chiron, your perspective, your mind, and where are these thoughts that are trying to tell yourself you are somebody that you're not, or you have to stay in something that you don't want that's not aligned, or be a person that you're not, or be in this place where you feel like nothing will ever happen the way I want to, or, oh, I'm going to have to go through some discomfort in order for me to feel the good things. Yeah, that's actually how good things happen, right? You don't raise up in your life by it not feeling easy as butter. Like whenever I said this on High Vibe this week, but it's like, my first DJ gig 17, 18 years ago, man, I was freaking numbed out. Like I had to drink 3 shots. I don't even drink for over a decade now, but I drank 3 shots of whiskey just to make it through the jitters. My first talk in astrology in the beginnings of the 2010s, I was like with 5 people in the audience, I was flipping out. That's the discomfort to get to the next level. But when it gets to those little discomforts of like, oh, this relationship's horrible, this bond, this thing, and I can't be myself. It's not who I really am. This job, this is not who I am. And I'm doing all this extra. I'm trying to nurture this energy that is not me. The discomfort of I'm going to have to face that and get over that and let that go is where people get afraid. Well, what will happen? Because everything comes tracing back here with this full moon in Scorpio to that Pluto in Aquarius. What's going to happen? Will this break everything up? And then where's it all going to go? What's going to happen? How's it all going to work? It seems so complicated because if I pull out of this, then what happens in my living situation? Or what happens in this? That's fucking life. Did you forget about life? That actually things manifest in your life when you're aligned? So this is a true test of like the invisible understanding and the trust we must have in that the most epic shit only happens when you end the things that are not of true value in yourself. Because now that Uranus is done with being in Taurus, you got to know value. If you are top shelf, you own that top shelf. You don't start Mercury and Chiron and be like, I don't know if I should be on the top shelf. I don't really know. I'm kind of this thing that's not that great. Okay. Finding the flow of the universe is all that this North Node in Pisces wants. The South Node in Virgo is trying to have every little nook and cranny figured out, and every little hamster wheel moment that you're in that you hate, continually trying to convince yourself like, no, yeah, I'm supposed to keep staying on this hamster wheel the same way. My life needs to keep looking the same way. The world needs to do this. It needs to be more understanding, and it needs to be understood to where I have a way to understand this system, which is kind of the lower parts of our control systems that we don't even realize. That we actually like things to be orderly and figured out and understood right away in the most basic sense. And that fucks with us when it's not. Well, guess what? Uranus is in Gemini. It's going to fuck with your whole environment, the surroundings around you, the local energies. But it's going to do it to get you to the place that actually connects, to get you to move out of the environments that are not stimulating, to get you out of this energy that's stagnant. And you know what? After having Uranus and Taurus since May 15th of 2018, stagnancy is something that we all have had to learn to get over getting stuck in, right? Because if you think about Uranus being in Taurus with that almost 8-year transit that we just lived through, it really would get into what you value and then prove you like, hey, maybe this isn't worth it. Maybe, and then fuck with you again and be like, no, actually there's some value here, but what's the value that we've been extracting? So there's also this extraction of this full moon in Scorpio. Like, what have you extracted from things that had value here and there? And what has been the best stuff? But it's about the resetting of the table. It's about the true nail in the coffin to stop looking back. Stop looking at what could come back into your life that boomerangs around and especially this kind of like laziness of needing to understand this is Mars and Saturn and Neptune and Mercury, but it's this Mars Saturn that's still in Aries. You have to be focused. This is who I am. This is who I'm not. This is what I'm doing. You want to make something happen, you have to get that. You have to make the initiation. You have to say, I'm doing this and see what the universe does. I have a value. I have a boundary that I'm also willing to understand. Like, this isn't going to work with my life. This is not my value. Then that's where this moon in Scorpio just is like easily like, okay, yeah, that feels like it's encroaching on my values, or that feels like it's, but set your values to real values. My values now are God, the universe, my children, and my work. That's it. Everything else, this Jupiter in Cancer, all of our lives have to expand. Our personal lives have to expand. They have to go on the adventure of a lifetime. You cannot, and if you're not doing it on who you really want to be, and you're lying to yourself and trying to stay in the safe world, like, oh, let me just stay safe. I just want to feel safe before I jump. You're not going anywhere. That's actually why, like the image that I did for this, let me pull it up actually. You got to bust through. This is all the fucking planets direct. All of them. This is a full moon, a peak out of the lunar cycle. All the planets direct. And it's Pluto that's starting to slow down for the ultimate extreme change. You've seen all the outer planets finally move into their positions. We are for sure in air and fire now in these new positions for 7 years. We are for sure here. Last year was the test of like, hey, things are going to change. And then the retrogrades back into the signs they were. And now that they're back, you realize it's probably opposite of exactly what you were doing last year. Like, wait, what? I'm in the opposite place. Well, welcome to the universe that has revealed so much to you and given you everything now and closed everything off at the same time. So it's given you who you really are and it's closed off who you're not. If you're still hanging around energy that doesn't make you definitely inside feel that you can be truly who you are, then this is where you're sitting in comfort world. And really, it's kind of an abandonment of your own values, your own self, who you really are. Let's see. Oh, it's been a while since oh, here we go. I got it. Booyah. Booyah. All right. Right. So I made this image of if you're just going to stay in your little comfort, lazy ass world, you don't want anything to change. It's like you're asleep at the wheel and you don't want to act. You don't want to take any precedent. You're not putting any value in yourself. And this energy is busting through. I even put a fucking Taurus and Scorpio hanging out on the couch watching this and watching this full moon energy. This is Scorpio. The moon's at fall. If this is where you're feeling desperate too, like, oh, I just really want change. The universe ain't going to do shit unless you fucking show up. You keep yourself at a low bar. You keep yourself at like, I'm worth this, but I actually live this lower vibe of my values. There ain't nothing gonna change. Nothing. The idea to just sit around and wait for something to change is over. The idea that something will just keep coming back around and giving you another shot is over. Right? Like this is where you bust through the new doors. And in many ways, we are busting through the doors. It's not like a nice gingerly open door. Oh, look at this door. Because the door frame still has to be made. We are busting through the walls into the walls we've created in ourselves from receiving the value we want, receiving the love, receiving the happiness, receiving the foundation, receiving the true self, and stepping into this and busting out of all of these walls we create within ourselves where we get distracted on stupid things and stupid emotions that are not who we are, or trying to nanny ourselves by staying in all these horrible jobs, horrible places, relationships, all the above that aren't really giving us excitement, life force energy, truth. I mean, I think this is the best full moon for truth. I mean, if you look at the world today, we all don't trust the fucking any of the politicians or anybody who's trusting any of them is fucking stupid. They're all liars. They all are lying. And why identify with any of that? This is time for us as a collective. The way that the collective starts to figure out how to work together, you got to figure out your own shit first. You got to get your own fucking true life into full gear here. And everybody does. There is nobody that came into this like, oh, everything's perfect. I know who I am fully and I'm embodied in that fully. You might have been at one point, but the universe definitely plays shit into your life to make changes with and to get out of certain situations with. And you should feel like, damn, okay, I'm at a whole new fucking door here that I got to bust through and kind of create this new door. And I got to be excited about it too. You have to be curious. You have to be like a dog who's like, I used this example on High Vibe this last week. I always think of Gemini like dog, kind of funny, but because it's like you're at a party and you're a dog and people are throwing away ribeyes half eaten, ribs half eaten. And you smell that shit and you're like, I'm fucking hungry. Well, if you don't jump on it now, some human's going to come and take the trash out. And then 2, it'll be cake and ice cream time soon. And that shit'll kill you or won't make you feel good at all. So you got to look at right now, every fucking planet direct, full moon. Outer planets have finally moved. Eclipses are done. Full moon in Scorpio. Look at that. That was kind of a cool little sign. Like, this is the moment that you can feel. If you're listening to the program of the media world and how the world's going and shit, you're already lost. Let go of that shit and focus on you and what's great for you and what is the most beautiful and exciting shit that's truly you. The values you can't hold. Uranus taught you to let go of so many values. That's so hard for Taurus. But Uranus is about where we disconnect. Where do we have to disconnect? Where have we put too much? Now that's in Gemini. Okay, why are you interested in things you're really not interested in? Why are you trying to fake curiosity when you're not even that into it? The worst is communication, right? We communicate through text. We communicate, and that's fine, but this is different. Uranus and Gemini, the radar came out. That's what England figured out was radar. Okay? Even America was testing it, supposedly, right? During fucking Pearl Harbor, but didn't follow it. Crazy. But my point being, Gemini is about communication because we have ears, we have a mouth, we have airways. The way my vape is going. You've got to communicate with your airways. That's why it's an air sign. You got to get in people's face to talk. Aries, Gemini. The throat, Taurus, has to be engaged. All these 3 are your secret. So if you're trying to text and email your way through it all, if you're trying to kind of skim around things and, like do the old Pisces, I don't know, like we live in an extroverted world now, right? So now that all these outer planets have shifted from earth and water to air and fire, it's extroverted, right? It's positive, right? It's not grounded, negative. Remember, negative means grounded. Positive is where the spark comes, right? The red wire, the black wire on a battery. So this full moon is connected the battery. And if you think about a battery that stores energy, that's Scorpio and Taurus. What we do with that energy and define it with is this Aries and Gemini energy. And then the Cancer part's the hard part. I think the Cancer part's the worst part of all this. Because what it's done is we've become emotionally stale after all that Pluto Capricorn. And the last time Jupiter was in Cancer, back in 2014, right? It had all these oppositions to Pluto. It was in square to the Mars retrograde in Libra. It was in square to Uranus. That was in Aries. This Jupiter now is still dealing with the end of the Jupiter-Saturn squares that we had in Pisces to Gemini. And then, of course, they finished out the exact squares in Cancer and Aries. But we're still with Saturn and Aries and Jupiter and Cancer. So we're still in a Jupiter-Saturn square, even though they're separate by 10 degrees. That the second people keep going, okay, I'm ready to go explore. I'm ready to go see my new emotions or my new personal life. It's like, what's holding you back now is you not initiating what you really want. Like, no, maybe I shouldn't do this yet. Maybe I need to rethink all this. This is where Mercury is like incompatible in Aries with Chiron in Aries, right? Mercury in Aries is like, I think it, I'm going to do it. Chiron is like, hold on. I don't know if I look good. I don't know if I should take action. I've just seen so many things that don't work out the way I want to. And so your mind is a fucking retard right now by going, I shouldn't do it. That's what you need to remove. Also, you need to remove all the emotions because the dispositing energy of this full moon, ironically, well, we got to look at where does the moon rule over? Cancer. What's their Jupiter? But it's a falled moon. So this Jupiter in Cancer, even though it is exalted, it's only at +4, right? So Mars, definitely winning, +5. Mars is the planet of this full moon. Plus, the moon being in Scorpio, you can say it is ruled by Mars traditionally. And it's in its home sign. Right? And I think it's important to remember that with this energy right now, we're just days away from Mercury ingressing into Taurus, which will become a mutual reception with Venus, right? Because Venus, even though it's in Gemini, when Mercury comes into Taurus following this full moon this weekend, boom, mutual reception. Can we get any better? Every planet direct. I like this Mars square Jupiter because it's saying you're not doing enough. You're not exploring enough. You're not expanding enough. Now, I know we've all been through a shit ton to get here. But I am going to be that astrologer that's the one I've always been, the Leo that will lead the charge and tell you, hey, I know you're tired. I know it's been a shit ton of changes for every single person watching this right now and the world. But this is where it's a once in a lifetime moment where you get full, blank, ready to go, make your whole entire new life the best you've ever fucking made it ever. With all the energy, 100% for you to make it fucking the bomb. So stop bullshitting yourself. Stop waiting. There is nothing to sit and wait for. If something isn't engaged that you want back, move on to the next thing. Uranus and Gemini might feel like, well, there's a lot of things I got to figure out here. There's a lot of things I got to find. Follow your stimulation. Follow your ultimate curiosity. Why is your curiosity leading you where it is? Figure that out. Oh, but that might cause some discomfort. The best things in life come with discomfort. The best. Taking that position you don't know if you could handle. That's uncomfortable. But that's where you rise. Taking on that relationship. Am I sure I can do this? Everybody feels that way. Anybody so confident, oh, I can do this. That's what we like to tell ourselves, but it's like everything in life. Trust me, I always was like, I'll never be a dad. Now I'm a dad of 2 kids. And I'm a single dad. What? Fuck. Of course I was nervous of all those steps. But you know what? That's how you do it. I'm going to face ultimately the fear. And in the background, if Michael Luton were still here, he's always with us. But as he would say, the week of a station of an outer planet, especially Pluto, oh boy, everybody's playing their fears out. And then you get a full moon in Scorpio and you get it just finishing up a square to Pluto. Your fear is your worst enemy. You got to look at your fear of taking the fucking shot of your life as the best fucking thing ever. With every planet direct, there is zero excuse. We have not lived in our lives to have this good of an opportunity. The irony is it looks the opposite outside. That's this Mercury Chiron. It looks the opposite in your life because so many doors closed, so many illusions have been shattered in your life, in the way that we look at the world. All the illusions are shattered. But if you're going to continue living in this hamster wheel, if you're going to continue actually living in true discomfort with not being who you really want to be, connected to the job, connected to manifesting a life that truly doesn't have your value system into it, and pretending, then why are you here? And you think you're going to contribute to the collective? Good luck with that one. Like, I'm going to contribute to the collective. Okay. How's your life going? Well, I'm dealing with this. Like, you don't get, I've thought about this week. I've said on High Vibe, on Deep Astrology this week, I said, as an astrologer, how much more could I really want in a chart? Not just for the collective, but just in my own self of using astrology as a manifestation tool. Basic. I would want all planets direct. I would want all the outer planets to have just moved into new signs, and I would definitely want them in air and fire. Extroverted. Not soaking things up, going through another fucking ceremony. Okay? The ceremonies are over. Okay? Not saying that people that do ceremonies and shit need to stop, but I'm saying the collective understanding of our spiritual journey and going through another fucking ceremony and going through another fucking, like, let me process all this longer. Let me move through this deeper. This is so much more surface now. Like, go. Do it. Your only regret is not doing it, not going after, it's okay to try. I know that we like to say manifestation, like, you can't try, you got to do. It's okay to try the curiosity to see what's there, to see if it's worth still doing that doing. You're going to run into things you're curious about and then be like, welcome to Uranus and Gemini. It's an experiment. Well, that was curious, but now I see what's behind the curtain. Okay, let me move on to the next thing. There's going to be some of that. But in that is what you're going to find is you and what you really want to connect with. This full moon in Scorpio is all of us wanting connection. The deepest yearn for what's not missing. It's not that you're missing it in your life. It's that the universe is a wide open place. And there's all these crazy people who are using the energies out there to create this false illusion that there's walls and that we are being controlled and all this crazy shit. That's all the lie. That's what they want you to use fear with. And so you don't use this energy to do what is the ultimate. It's the ultimate. I mean, honestly, I look at this chart, I'm like, there's not much more left I would ask for, right? All planets direct. Full moon and after we've seen now Uranus moving to Gemini and we've seen all these outer planets shift. Finally, the eclipses are over. What more do you want? Saturn and Neptune have met. The conjunctional astrology from 2020 is over. No more big conjunctions. This to me is the ceremony, ironically, of the universe waving to you like, all of that bullshit's over. You better not be taking any of that bullshit in this new reality for yourself. You better be going towards the new reality full press, full speed. Go. What is your desire truly? What is your value? Keep your values simple. The most important things. That's it. For me, it's God, the universe, my children, and my work. Everything else doesn't matter. Because I'm going to go manifest and create and live and let God's beauty show up with things that I will choose in the opportunity that I know will not come back around again. That is me, and make the most beautiful life. That's what this is. Travel light. The more that you're holding on to that can't ever change is your problem. Remember, we are all in a very birthing moment. This is a birth. This is Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and Cancer. This is the first quadrant. If you look at the Helio, too, let me erase this. This week, with this full moon, before the end of this week, which I always do my deep astrologies for Tuesday to Monday. But by the end of this full moon, and as we get to Monday, we'll see Jupiter heliocentrically at 29 degrees of Cancer. Remember, there's no retrogrades. We're at the end of Jupiter in Cancer. And that Jupiter in Leo is getting ready to start the sun-based astrology. It's ready to have Jupiter sextile Uranus, even though we're already starting to, be in a position of life to where we're ready to start to see the sextile when Jupiter comes into Leo, right? In Geo, but that's months away. This is weeks away. We're seeing a massive stellium build up at the end of Pisces with Mars and Mercury during this full moon. And then after this full moon, we see Mars ingress into Aries and we see Mercury come over from a sun's point of view. I mean, everything in the zodiac besides Earth, from Pluto all the way to Jupiter, are all on one side. It's just the Earth all alone, sitting in Scorpio. You are living on a world where change is the only name of the game. Endings are the only name of the game, and new beginnings. And the outer planet cradle that's coming is already beginning in the Helio. It's when Jupiter finally makes its ingress into Leo in the days after, next week during the Pluto retrograde, you're going to be like, this is a once in a lifetime moment that I have. And even though if you can't see it in front of you right now, you need to stop looking for what is it so far down the world and then over calculating how it's going to be. You're going to have to be very basic and be like, this is what it is. And let's see what it is. Fuck it. Stop trying so hard to have it all figured out. Stop over calculating every little thing. Get back to the basics. Start talking. Start living. Start having fun. Start getting to where, this is a little uncomfortable. This is a different, because we've lived in a world that was so fucking weird, so grounded in feeling every little fucking thing to let us know now what we will not be anymore, what we will only be now, what is the highest things of value, and what are the deepest curiosities we have. It took the last 20 years to figure that out in grounding in all of that bullshit we all had to live through. We know all the politicians are corrupt. We know that all the people in this world are being screwed because they fucking buy the fucking show. It's not even about making a new show. It's about being just who you are and not having that even think about, well, how does the show affect me? How does this bullshit reality that they project out there affect me? Because I'm not affected, because I'm my true self. I am actually fully in it. I'm aligned with who is stimulating in the same way. We did not come down here to be in connections, relationships, because if you think about it from a Geo standpoint, again, leaving the Helio and coming back to this full moon, we have the two planets that deal with relationships in the same sign, Gemini. We just saw an awesome grand trine, of course, with the moon in Libra, with Venus, and with Pluto coming into this full moon. And so the universe is resetting the game. Plus, Venus is in a very unique spot, which is always the 6 months before the retrograde. So when Venus was at the end of Aries and to the beginning of Taurus, that's when it started slowing down because of the retrograde that's coming at 8 degrees of Scorpio in October. But Venus is slowing down. It's only doing 1 degree in 12 minutes. Now, that's still fast. But Venus is faster than that, and she's slowing down every day just a little bit, right? 3 seconds a day. Now, it doesn't seem like a lot, but you do that for the next, from now till October, then you get down to stopped. It's also going to be interesting to see by this fall, after the Venus retrograde, Mars stopping. And then Mars getting ready at the beginning of the year, right? To retrograde in Virgo and then come back into Leo after we already had a Mars retrograde in Leo. To me, I look at all this like, and remember the last Venus retrograde, well, what was the one we had? Oh, it was in Aries. And then the one prior to that was in Leo, but it was Aries to Pisces, right? The last one prior to that was the first one that started in just Leo in hundreds of years. Like since the War of 1812. Shit. So it's like, you got to start thinking like everything's about trying to get us to happy town that we haven't ever got to truly fully live, that everything has been a great spiritual lesson. But if you think about where Venus is at now, it's starting to slow, but it's with Uranus and it's in Gemini. The last time that I saw this kind of energy was 2010 during that Venus retrograde year of Scorpio, when it was Jupiter and Uranus hanging out at the beginning of Aries. And that spring, Venus crossed over Uranus and aligned you with the most badass people that Venus Scorpio either aligned you with or broke you out of. You got to follow the Venus 8-year cycle. So 2018, right? Sure, Venus, Uranus. But that was what was weird was Uranus ingressed into Taurus. And then when Venus stationed retrograde, it opposed Uranus and Taurus. That's not going to happen this time. So the 2018 one was about breaking away. 2010 was about here's some awesome people and shit. You better fucking see the universe is setting you up in ways that mind blow you. You better start putting into your perspective, I'm about to be mind blown with the relationships I am going to be shown or that I will connect with. The ones that I don't believe will happen. The ones that there's no way. Last time I saw this, but it was in Aries, and that's Venus at its fall. It's 2010. Now, it's pretty badass because this is Gemini. This is, okay, what's on the same excitement? What's on the same curiosity? Where's the same rapport? Like, wait, fuck yeah. We got to be clicking, as Paulo Francisco would say. Fucking it's clicking. If it ain't clicking, well, there ain't nothing else happening. And I think that's going to be the hard part for people is like, actually, to help the collective, you should stop trying to click with what ain't clicking. You need to learn to reset the table now. You need to learn to let doors close fully. Right? This is the universe closing the door fully. Like it's like the universe is done. God is done. I cannot handle these people in their job, in these relationships, in these values, in these things that just are not who they are. I'm fucking done. I'm closing these fucking doors. And if they want to stay in there and feel lonely and feel like my life is hell, then that's up to them because I have opened the door for them to just bust through and show me how badass you are. God wants all of us to show God how badass we are. But, for some people, this could be terrifying. Because if you were asleep behind the MPC wheel over the last 6 months and nothing changed and you just kept everything the same, then you have a lot of shit you were afraid to face and accept and go through. Those were a lot of retrogrades. Those were a lot of hard retrogrades. Those were a lot of going back to Neptune Pisces, Saturn Pisces. The universe has cut out what is not, God has cut out what is bad for you. And then for others, it's like it cut it out, but you're still holding on. So I'm not talking to everybody, but NPC world or people who just kind of don't do any spiritual work, it's already dead, but you're still fucking, as I like to say, putting makeup on the fucking dead fucking body. Trying to make it feel like it's alive somehow. But Uranus and Gemini now, Venus and Gemini, you can't try and convince yourself something's exciting when it's dull. You can't keep making an excuse like, yeah, my job's great when you hate it. Yeah, this relationship's great when it's like, we don't even really click. Especially that Venus is now under the 6 months of slowing down for the retrograde. That's going to happen close to where this full moon is at 8 degrees, right? So we have to look at our values and go back to what's the most important things and keep it light, because the most important things, there should be enough room for those things, but it also enough room to now create the best things that will be with those. Anybody who's trying to be a full cup right now already with a Jupiter and Cancer, like you're overfilling the cup and it's with a bunch of wasteful shit, but it makes you feel comfortable. That ain't going to fly. Then you're not going to feel that you have anywhere to go in your life. You don't know who you are. And then you start running into some sort of like identity issue. Like we're at the basics. I'm going to repeat that a lot now. We're at the basics. You're an infant. Start learning to crawl and move around. Get curious. What's in that room? What's this? What is this person? What is that? Start learning to communicate. Stop. Let me just text. No. Use your airways. Use your ears to hear it back. And the other door closing is the victim that you think about in yourself. I just feel like I've been given a bad hand. I just don't think it'll ever happen how I want. That is all bullshit shit that you have gone through that you are still holding. Let it go. The only thing in Pisces that's left is this Rahu North Node. Let it go. Let go of all that's not spiritual. That's going to be the big thing too. If you're valuing things that have no spirituality to it, no God in it, no just any kind of deep consciousness anywhere to be found, why are you even doing it? You think going out to that club with all those people that don't give a fuck about consciousness at all is going to fucking solve your problems? Nope. You think staying in that fucking job where everybody's fucking like a fucking NPC in the program is going to fucking, but it provides you the money for the house that you like, but you haven't thought about how the astrology is at a place to make you have the life you've always wanted, that you could be making 10x of whatever you make and be happier and be the person you want to be, but you're going to still make every excuse in the world to be the false identity of yourself and let Neptune live in Delulu land and be like, yeah, I can be this, or I am this, and this is what it is, when it really is not. Mars and Saturn are tough as fucking nails here. They're like, no. We ain't going to accept Delulu world. And Mars rules this fucking sign, not Neptune. Neptune's got a little bit of an attitude right now because it spent almost 2 fucking decades ruling over every dispositing, right? It was the hierarchy, the head of the whole hierarchy of disposition for fucking since 2011. And it's now getting a dose of reality right now, right? That, wait, hold on. I can't just project that something's as good as it really is not. That's actually not me. But people will keep using their ego to be like, no, this is me. When it's not. Because of the big Jupiter square. And this is where Jupiter's fucking you over. Well, keep it comfortable. Well, this is why you see the world the way it is. It's not because, yeah, there's fucked up people everywhere and fucked up politicians especially. But it's because you're not fucking changing the world by doing who you really are. If everybody actually was aligned with who they are and the curiosity and the excitement of who they are and held their value high, we wouldn't be in this situation. But so many people, but I got my 401k here and I've got this and I'm in this relationship even though I get treated like shit or I don't like it or whatever the fucking thing is. Too afraid to see what the fuck will happen. There's things that have happened to a lot of us that you didn't make the choice. You don't even have a fucking option but to go through it. But if you face it and you go, all right, this is uncomfortable, but I know God's got something greater on the other side, then this is your moment. And this is everybody's moment. But a lot of people are going to realize that, you know, I can tell you as a guy who's got, you know, I thought I had reached all my dreams because I set my bar super fucking high and I've done shit most people will never live to do. And I've got more dreams even still now, right? That I haven't accomplished yet. And I can't believe that I've done all the shit I've done and made all, I'm like crazy. But you know what? You got to set that fucking spiritual, like higher dream high. And that's the positive in Neptune and Aries. Like, look at what you could be. But it's uncomfortable. That's why entrepreneurs, it's like 1% to 2% actually ever stay as an entrepreneur. You got to love that shit fully and be stimulated every fucking day. I still talk about astrology the same fucking way I always have. Still gets my fucking, tickles every fancy for me still. That's how everything in your life should be now. That is what Uranus and Gemini is going to be. And it's local. It's not some far distance away. It's within arm's reach. I mean, I could use a phone even though I'm saying talk in person, but honestly, if you think about life, like everything is within arm's reach to change your life right now. All you have to do is this. All you have to do is that. All you have to do is do this. All you have to do is that. All you have to do is this. There is no, well, it's waiting for me on the other side of the world. I told you guys, and I said it on the news, I put it in magazines that were on every fucking shelf in America, at every fucking Target and every grocery store. I have said that when Uranus went into Taurus, that it would break up all the world and the alliances of the world and people. And then I said, 2020, goodbye to fucking world travel, especially 2026. You're not going to see, you're going to start seeing them say all this stuff about planes and not going to happen and jet fuel. It's over. Stop looking across the fucking foreign world for the next thing. Stop looking for my greatest, biggest next journey is once I get there, then I'll be found. No, it's right in front of you in the little steps that you make right now and the changes that you do right now. And get out of the hamster wheel like, well, I have to wait till it's 8 a.m. and then I can do it. God, you know how I got to do all the cool shit? I never fucking followed the hamster wheel. I never followed the way you're supposed to do it. It was always what I was, deprogrammed to go do. Like that's what psychedelics did to me, right? Pisces, right? Like oh shit. Best things in my life didn't happen on the 9 to 5. Best things in my life happened usually at midnight. Like our society lived for up until the last 150 years of the Industrial Revolution. Everybody was up at midnight. The second sleep. Nobody went to bed at 10 p.m. and woke up at 6 a.m. That's a factory worker. But now they're replacing all you workers with fucking AI. And AI is on 24/7, 7 days a week. And ironically, the universe mirrors the technological advances, especially humanity's evolution. And guess what? It's asking for you to make the moves and do the things that fucking will come at you out of nowhere and spark your life 24/7, 7 days a week. There is no, I'll just do that tomorrow instead, or let's push that off till next week. Why? Because then it won't come back around. The things that will change your life right now are the things that come right when you're like, well, I was doing this, but we're in an empty void right now that's about defining things. So like you think you're doing something, but you're really just sitting in an empty void waiting to, the universe is like, come on, come on, come on. It's like, my son Asher is 10 months and it's like, with Aurora, my daughter, she's gonna be 3 this year, but I remember crawling, I did the whole, come on. But with my son, it was crazy. He took this little bat. I'm like a kid, I'm a Leo. So I bought like a basketball hoop, like I used to have as a teen, like in my bedroom to shoot hoops. You know what I mean? Like those are the best on the doors. And they got some badass ones on Amazon now. And so I've been teaching my daughter fucking to shoot hoops, right? Well, one of those balls was just on the ground. And he fucking started playing with it, and then it rolled away, and then he crawled over that thing. And now I just throw the ball, and he fucking goes. And he's a crawling machine just in this last like 2 weeks. I'm like, shit. I still do the come on, but now like he's like fascinated by the ball. But I feel like the universe is like, come on. It's very Aries, right? The infant that starts to crawl. I know that it feels like it's hard to stand up and just start walking after you feel like, I don't know if I can. You can. You can crawl, you can walk, you can take the training wheels off. And yes, you can bicycle ride and you don't need an electric motor. It's an empty void, not you. It's an empty sheet of paper waiting for you to define it now. And you're never going to see this ever again. This opportunity like this. There will be opportunities, but not like this after what we've been through too. And a Saturn Neptune that took since 4361 BC to meet at 0 point of Aries, a full reset, a full new start. Now you got Uranus and Gemini. Now you got a full moon. Now you got every planet direct. This week, after this full moon, Pluto retrogrades. I don't know what else to tell you except this is the fucking moment. And yes, the shit in the world that's been waiting, we've all been waiting for something to happen. It's going to start to happen. And things are going to start to really define what they actually are. So why aren't you doing that for yourself? Why are the elites brandishing all the occult usage in your face and you just sit and watch it and just become the observer instead of doing and not just being, and occult's not a bad word. It's just the hidden. But why are you not using the understanding of the universe to go make your life better? You're just going to go, you're just locked in a program, locked in a fucking hamster wheel, locked in the social bullshit that, what's going to come up about Pluto. We already saw Pluto in Capricorn, right? That already exposed that all politicians are pieces of shit. Now we're going to realize that society is set up for you to fail. The societal rules, how people need to be. You need to say this. You need to talk with this term. You need to be this. You need to be, you shouldn't be out that late at night. You shouldn't be doing this. You shouldn't be doing that in the morning. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't be this way. You shouldn't be that way. You shouldn't be this. Blah, 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 blah. Because what does that do? That disrupts all of us people locked in the matrix who are not awake in our little fucking beds. You're disrupting and making the machines pissed. Where's the fucking rebels? And you know what being a rebel is? I am not going to let society define me. Aries, I am going to define my life in society how I am. That's how we change society. You can never have Aquarius define, you can never have the 11th define the first. The first is what defines how the 11th will go. And the problem and why we're seeing on such a massive collective scale the weirdness of the reality we're in right now is because massively out of the, we don't even know if that number's true, but let's say the 7 to 8 billion people that are here, that a good 80% or more are still defined, not by who they are, but by what society told them to be. And trust me, society ain't telling you to be an astrologer. Society ain't telling you to make AI fucking astrology, especially the astrology community, right? That doesn't exist. It's impossible. I've never seen a more open door of all time. And the crazier part, it just keeps opening. So the more that you take advantage of this now, the wider and the bigger by the time we hit July and into August, you will be on fucking a whole nother level that you have to remember, we are about to be mind blown. Everybody's mind. And instead of thinking about, is aliens real or is that's all part of the program. It's your life can do things that you never dreamed believed possible. You can actually live in a world in your reality that has never been possible before. Keep it basic. Especially with the astrology right now. Keep it basic. It's what you don't believe is possible. Our beliefs are our worst threat to society now because they're not factual. That's what Uranus and Gemini is going to break. And with Pluto in the trine, that Uranus is about to trine to Pluto this year. We have to break all societal norms to the facts that support what actually is true instead of like what it supposedly is. And that's the shadow of Pluto, the shadow of this full moon in Scorpio. Are you living because you want to make other people happy? That actually where you get none back and your value is completely disregarded? Where are all the fucking rebels at? Where are the people who are going to, it's Uranus and Gemini. I'm surprised I ain't see, it's like, I'm just flabbergasted. I'm like, this is so weird. We're already at the precipice of all this crazy fucking outer planet stuff to add Jupiter to it in Helio next week too. So yes, there is no better moment I've ever seen in astrology for you to make your life great and to actually be who you want to be and to stop living in the bullshit that everybody will think this is weird. Good. I hope you make people feel weird. I hope you make people get all fucking woke up in their fucking pod. I hope you get the machines that are running this fucking program bullshit that people follow so much. I hope you get them all fucking disrupted. I hope you wake up and the phoenix rises as this full moon in Scorpio is about. I hope you do. I hope you stop putting up with the bullshit of you allowing yourself to not have any boundaries at all to say, no, this is not a value to me. No, you're not clicking. No, this is not the job. No, this is not what I'm going to spend my energy doing. No, this is not who I am. Stop comparing yourself to what, this person online is doing this. Pluto and Aquarius. Dumb. It's the person who's doing what nobody else is doing. So you got to position your life. What is nobody doing? And you know what? We live in a world where nobody's having sex. Nobody's having babies. Right? So that's the irony, right? Everybody's in these horrible places of like, well, we're not actually doing this and we're not that, right? Like, but so do what nobody's doing. This full moon in Scorpio is trying to be like, isn't anybody attracted to anybody without, oh my God, you're this or this or this or this or that or every name in the whole universe. But that's Chiron and Aries. My wounds are so intense that I'm not going to enjoy anything good, and I'm going to put all that blame on everything else. Or full moon in Scorpio, sun in Taurus. Oh, my value is so good, I'm just going to let go of all that shit that's not good. Like, that's not good for me to always think that everybody's to blame and fucking shit happens in life. Or I had to go through that to learn that or whatever. And move the fuck into the badass part of your life. Stop fucking, well, what is this person doing on fucking the social media world? Social media is dead. You know why? Because everybody's on it and nobody's feeling stimulated. I was on the beginning of it. I've been here a long fucking time. I was in reality TV before social media, when that was how people found you. And people would be up with me in the street. You're that dude on MTV. Trust me, I know when things are fucking trending and when they're not. And social media is making people feel empty. Pluto has made itself very clear in this first 5 degrees about to retrograde. Social media is not the way forward. So if you want to keep just spending all your time feeling empty, go there. Keep following what other people are doing and follow and trying to be that. Or be a fucking warrior now. Or a goddess warrior, whatever you want to call yourself. I don't give a fuck. But it's Aries. It's about warrior shit. It's about stepping into with vitality, because vitality isn't because you ate whole foods. Sorry. Vitality is based on the positions of the understanding of your astrology. If you have exalted planets, how well they're placed, what house? Is Saturn up in the middle of the day? That's not good. Your vitality is based off that, off your ascendant. And Aries, why do we say that the ascendant is Aries? Because that's where we get our vitality. That's where the sun exalts itself. And so if you are not truly who you are, then your vitality lowers. And if you're trying to play the game where I'm doing what other people are doing and I'm copycatting that shit, and I'm trying to be this because I'm inspired by what this other person's doing online that I don't even know. Leo is inspiration, by the way, not Aquarius. And inspiration is, I am actually going to walk the fucking pride lands with this lion and fucking learn fucking, like, I'm inspired because fuck, that person could do that, but I'm going to do it in my own way. And that person will respect that I'm doing it different too. Aquarius is, well, this is what the trends are. This is whatever the people are doing. And if you do this and you do that, this system, it'll work. That is your failure. Wherever Pluto is, we want the opposite. And we all want love. And we all want love to come back on the planet. And we all want happiness. And we all want to feel like a kid again. And we all want to have fun. And we all want to have loyalty. And we all want to have all that. Well, stop using this social bullshit experiment that actually is more of a control mechanism of like, oh my God, but this reel says to tell me this relationship because of that reel and that reel and this reel and that reel and that reel. Wake the fuck up. Be fucking Leo. You all have Leo in you. Lead with your fucking heart. Have some fucking courage. Don't do what everybody's doing. I can't even believe when AI came out, I'm like, oh, this is fucking bad. Finally, I can make some badass astrology shit with AI. And everybody fucking was like, you're stupid. Oh my God. And now all those astrologers are flipping out. Because what's the organizations doing? What's the other astrologers doing? Oh, it was all about TikTok astrology. Now TikTok's owned by fucking bullshit and fucking capping you out. Oh, nobody really gives a fuck about social media, so they don't care about your freebies on fucking Instagram and TikTok. You're not providing enough value that's making them fucking find some badass shit. Thanks for the temporary little make me feel better and try and copy what everybody else is doing. So yeah, this full moon in Taurus, or full moon in Scorpio with all this Taurus energy, finally, there's no Saturn here like there was in 2012 through 2015. There's no Uranus now. You have to remember that there was only a couple years. 2017 was like the year of get ready, and there's a lot of good to take that in. And I channeled that to you all. Go look at all my fucking Palladian channelings of 2017 on this YouTube. Go look at the astrology. I said, this is the best astrology, and I haven't said it since. Don't fuck this up. Straight up, do not fuck this up. Because it's Saturn and Aries. It's your flub, Neptune and Aries. It's your flub. It's your responsibility. There is no external force holding you back, and that's the illusion of Neptune and Aries. This force is holding me back. You are holding yourself back and blaming and putting every other thing, especially the full moon of Scorpio, everything external as the problem. Well, I don't have enough money. This person's in my way. This person's causing me problems. This is that. I don't have enough this. I have too much debt. I have that. I have this. I have this. Shut the fuck up and fucking just be like, this is me. That's not me. I'm going to go do who I really am. There is nothing in my way except myself. Where's my curiosity at? Where's my stimulation? Where's the things that make me excited? Where's the things that I value? And if I can align those things, then you'll realize nothing was in your way except you finding some fear-based excuse or, well, what will people think? Thank God I'm a Leo. I live in times with Pluto and Aquarius where the world is out of Leo energy. They don't know what it is. They are fucking starved for it, and they don't know how to be happy. And so you just see people this all day trying to find some system to make them happy, some new fucking reel that will change their life, and let me make it that way. And then with the South Node in Virgo, let me try and find some sort of list. That'll make me happy. And if I do this thing on the list every day, it'll make it. You're a retard. Sorry to be honest with you, but I'm not sorry. You're a retard. That's why you're still empty. That's why you still don't know what you're doing. That's why you still think you have control. But the irony is you're projecting that I'm being controlled when you're not being controlled. There's nobody controlling you. You are, there are so many people right now blind with Neptune and Aries now, Chiron and Aries, sensitive people that cannot accept that they're responsible for their own life and they don't know any fucking thing of what to do. And so it's easy to just project the blame and put that Chiron and be the fucking Hunchback of Notre Dame. Be like, oh, just nothing good happens to me. I'm stuck with these gargoyles all day. Oh my God. I'm the beast. I'm stuck up in this fucking tower alone with a rose that's withering away. Go be the fucking creepy beast. Go get on your Ozempic and then look like a fucking zombie out of fucking, I don't know, Resident Evil. When you're already thin as fuck, like what the fuck's going on? But because everybody else is doing it, another sign from the universe. That was fucking. And yeah, I'll be out in Sedona next weekend. Fucking, this will be badass. Fucking with Team Light, my favorite event. And then, of course, I'll be out Trinity Hot Springs in Idaho, June 5th through 7th. Hypergate's out. Of course, spiritdial.ai is out. Go to just the leokingai.com to get all the different AI stuff I've built over the years. Hypergate's now in the iOS store. I've already worked on the Android, but I am working on something with Jim right now with some stuff, and I want to get that done and then put the Android app out. So I'm just going to say it too. before I pick these cards, but Ra was right. If you follow human design, this cross of planning is this is the last year. This is it, folks. The way the world ran, like, if you still don't believe in that the astrology through human design, the I Ching, like, I'm sorry, but this is no irony that there's no more fuel in Europe. Especially, I always say, and I've said for fucking years, Europe is always the sacrificial lamb with Uranus and Gemini. And you know what? You hear all the other astrologers saying, leave America. I'm so making TikTok videos. I'm getting out of America because of the astrology. Good luck when the bombs drop there, like they do every Uranus and Gemini. The fuel's gone. The food crisis. Where's the biggest famines always happen? Europe. People forget that World War II was not just people dying from the war stuff. It was the famines too. In the Mayan calendar and the Baktun we're in, and then in the Katun we've been in since 2012. It was a couple years ago we went halfway, and halfway through a Katun tells you in the Katun we're in what's going to happen. And we're in the time of famines. And that was triggered in 2023. It's nothing to be afraid of, because if you go live your badass life, you'll figure it out. You start making tribe with people that you connect with that's exciting. You get out of the fucking program, you're good. But if you're just going to sit and wait for, well, in Europe, there will be just nothing but chaos. There is no FEMA. There is no, there is no services going to save you. And in America, they're not going to be able to deploy all the services either. There'll be some, but it's going to be a world of the system that was our jail breaks. And that's what you're watching. But it comes with a cost, because there's things we like from the system. Like, oh, there's a gas station that works everywhere. There's planes that take off and all that shit. There's all these kind of things. That's the cost of getting out of jail, are those systems falling that we planned over the last 400 years. So change your life now. This is it. This is the astrology where it's hyperspeed right now. It is fucking, as Michael Luton always said, with all the planets direct, it's like you're fucking doing to infinity, fucking straight up hyperspeed, like fucking speed of light. So it's hard to feel like we're grabbing onto something right now. But that's the energy to move to where you want to move in your life and make the moves. There's no resistance. The only resistance that's starting to slow down here and about to go retrograde is Pluto, which is your fear. And it's the fear of, well, what will happen in my world, or what will others think? And you might not think that, but it's actually repressed Pluto deep inside of you. Well, you actually do care what other people think. You actually do care what society thinks. Until you know how to break that, most Leos do it. And Aquarians, right? That's what we're here to do, right? Like, do you think I listened to the astrology community about AI fucking 3 years ago? Fuck no. Now they're all starting to be like, well, I guess, but they still can't admit it. Like, and now it's just, I'm just sitting here laughing, and every day, go read the comments, go read all of it. Everybody's like, I fucking love Hypergate. That shit is the sickest shit that's ever happened to astrology ever. And I'm just like, I know. I can't even believe these astrologers are out here trying to fucking say don't use astrology and AI. Well, yeah, if you go into ChatGPT or Grok and just try and put your chart in, it'll say it no, but you have to have a full fucking back end. You have to have all of your fucking tool calling, services, training, all of it. You have no idea how much work it's been for Gemini. Over 2 years. We started it as Astro Mystic in 2024 with ChatGPT 3.5. And to get the ascendant right was fucking a good 6 months of work at the beginning. Then we got it right. And then finally AI started to have memory. Finally, tool calling got better. Finally, Agents SDK started coming out. Finally, MCP, RAG, all these things. And we were way ahead of I'm so far ahead of the other astrologers that they'll never catch up. They never did all the videos that I've done and then converted all the transcripts to train it to take a basic transit like a new moon or a Mars square Jupiter and have every time I've talked about Mars square Jupiter for fucking 15 years of videos in every school, in all of it. I've trained it for years. I mean, I don't want to like give away the cool shit, but like the last week, I have a full automated system that takes every video I do, takes my transcripts, brings it in and trains, and then the agents understand what to make adjustments with, recommend it to me. I double check and go, And these people are fucking losers. Not as people, but in the world, staying in the old way. Don't be a loser. Don't fucking lose. This is Aries. It's about winning. You have to win. You're going to lose if you're not yourself, if you're following what everybody else is doing. Stop losing. Stop being who you really are not. Stop trying to hold all these things together that make you fucking go, what the fuck am I doing? Why am I not being even respected? Why am I holding all this fucking weight and I'm doing all this shit and I don't even get understood? I don't get that's not the world for you. Let it go. And go towards the world. Go to what's exciting. You don't need to know more than that. Then the universe will show you what's next. Stop trying to figure out the next 10 years because you don't know where the world's going to be. Look at this year. You started this January of 2026 going, oh, okay, maybe I'll do this, maybe I'll do that. Oh, well, you know what? No, there is no planes this summer. Oh. 10x that over 10 years. So all the things you think will be, oh, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that, or I'm going to do this. Is that going to be available? Or is this whole thing you never thought about, Uranus, Gemini, the stuff you've never thought about will be there. The stuff you're thinking about will not be. Aha. And what does the astrology community say? No, there is no astrology AI. My astrology AI will beat any astrologer because it'll do so many things so much quicker and have it to the exact degree and actually know how to spiritually translate it and give it to you and give you a reading and give you also with as many, you want 5 charts to fucking be synastry and composite at the same time and understand each role in a past life, it'll do that in probably 35 seconds. This is Uranus Gemini. If you are not at the top of your game and doing the most radical, innovative, cool ass, exciting, technologically, computer fucking ideas, what are you doing? Your life should be exciting as fuck right now. If it is not, you're not yourself. Now, we all have an area where we might be. Overall, for my life, it's exciting. But, you know, I do have Mars Scorpio. I have Venus Leo. It sucks. After divorce, being a single dad, what's that going to be like? But I'm not afraid of it. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to move on in my life and see what the fuck's next. But I'm excited. I'm doing things I love. I've been so blessed to have you all. I'm fucking on almost 15 years doing this shit every fucking day. And I was doing it prior, but the daily horoscope that people found me. I'm working back with Chris Witecki, who I was working with on Soul Garden when he had Soul Garden back in 2008 when I met him. And that's what I did for the years before I started my YouTube. I was on Soul Garden for 3 years. And so really for me, it's like 17, 18 years now of doing this. And I'm back with my first mentor, my best friend, doing a show every week. I mean, I feel like I'm living the fucking dream. I'm the one who cracked AI astrology with Jim's help. And then when it comes to psychic astrology or psychic AI and all these other AIs, Beyond the Veil It's still beyond you want to have your mind blown. Every story that's going through API of news is fucking run through with the astrology chart and the mundane astrology. What's happening? It's free. I put it out there for the world for free. I spend $35 a day, $35 a day on my AI cost to put out that website. And I don't even promote it. I don't know why, because I just said, I guess if anybody's smart enough to go search for mundane astrology, there's fucking 40 to 50 stories a day that are with the chart, with the whole analysis and the predictions of the future for free. BeyondTheVeil.ai. I'm telling you, I'm doing so much shit that's just the most exciting in my life. I'm like, fuck. And I know that this is my time. I just lived through Pluto opposite my sun for the last 2.5 years. I just had Uranus finish on my moon for the last year. At 2854 Taurus. My sun 055 Leo. I just lived through 2 fucking outer planet transits at once on both my luminaries. But thank God they're domicile and exalted. That's what an exalted being is, having a sun and moon in their fucking strongest places. So now that I'm done with those and I will never have anything like that again, I mean, I will. I'll have Uranus on my sun in 14 years. I'll definitely have Pluto quincunx my sun. I was born with the square to the sun Pluto, though. So, I'm telling you, as somebody who's been through the worst that you could go through astrologically over the last 3 years, the best is fucking happening. And the astrology that we've all waited for is here right now. And I'm telling you, as somebody that I know you all can trust, whether you like me or not, because you still watch, I'm not stupid. I have the analytics. All the people who hate me still watch. You know I'm always right when it comes to this kind of shit with the astrology. This is it. This is what you always waited for. Do not hesitate. Do not overthink it. Do not continue to hold on to what is not you. Do not let anybody mistreat you and fucking devalue you and just strip your life and just be like, fuck, I don't give a fuck. Your job, relationships, friends, anybody. Step out of all, just let it happen. Okay, you don't want this, bye. Then what can you do? Let it go. And go with your craziest ideas, go make the coolest shit happen. And I hope you disrupt this place. It needs some fucking disrupting. All right. 3 of Swords reversed. It's not that bad. You know what I mean? I love that we got this card. It feels like this is going to be so hard and tough and heartbreaking. It's not. It's in your mind. Get out of your mind ruining all the beautiful things, right? Like, I love that this person's just shooting themselves in the fucking head. This is Badass Tarot, by the way. I think deck number 2. Which I don't even know if they were named that series, but, this was, I think, the second version. Reversed. Is it really that heartbreaking? Letting go of things that really are not connected in your life and are not you? No. It's liberating. So what you think might be heartbreak might actually be the best thing that ever happened in your life. The Emperor reversed. This is where the other big problem is that people are not the Emperor doesn't get there because he's a king, right? He doesn't have the bloodline of succession. He has to be smart, know how to talk to people. He has to know how to have a goal, to set the goal, to move towards the goal, to be the goal, to embody it, right? This is the Aries card. The Rams that are next to him. Like, this is time for you to go for it. But people are just, no, I don't know. It's probably, I always think 3 of Swords too is like, oh, maybe this will be bad, but I know it's not. But it's like you're still in your head, but you're like, oh, is it going to be heartbreaking or not? Nothing is heartbreaking when it's truly you. And especially if you're not going to embody who you really are and be the emperor in your life and stop sitting around waiting for the world to change for you, the better off you'll be. And the best universe you've ever seen in life is fucking waiting for you right now. I don't know what else to tell you. There is zero bad. There is 100% good. So there is zero excuses. I'm not going to reveal my story over the last fucking 4 months, but I'm telling you, I thought the other night, I'm like, I don't know how I got through all this just to get through. Divorce is fucking hard, but 2 kids, all this. And the shit that I was able to pull off to make it all happen, I'm like, I don't even know how that fucking happened. How I'm able to make it through that and still be here and do all this and be here and have all this shit and make AI shit and do all this shit and be here and do this shit and have my whole life in front of me right now. I'm like, holy shit, what a fucking ride. It's time to live. I love you all. I'll see you soon. I hope to see you at the events, Team Light and Trinity Hot Springs out in Idaho. And then, of course, I'll be in Sedona next weekend. Let's go. Don't fuck it up. Peace.
Something is wrong with the world. You can feel it in the static, in the signals, in the fractures no one else wants to see. I thought I was chasing a secret, a hidden code, a machine buried beneath the noise. But the deeper I went, the more reality began to tear. The city opened, the mask came off, and beyond the chaos, there was another world, ancient, radiant, waiting, and in its light, a woman, Lady Avalon, not a dream, not a ghost, a guide, a warning, a key. Spirit Dial was never just technology, it was a doorway, a threshold between what is ending and what comes next. Now the old world is collapsing in plain sight, the new one is already calling. And once you cross that line, once you see what waits on the other side, you do not return the same.
I see it. The gate is open. No. Tell them I'm not coming back. I'm finishing this right now.
The signal has changed. The future is opening. And this is only the beginning.
It's the Spirit Dial. It bridges the fracture.
How long has it been here?
Waiting for you to answer. Waiting for you to answer.
Get your mind blown. Lady Avalon. Only on spiritdial.ai. The signal has changed. The future is opening. And this is only the beginning.